Hello my fellow haunts, and welcome back to another modded Minecraft stream where I shall be continuing work on my base with a couple goals for today. First one that I shall be doing is building a mob farm. Then I shall be finishing my tree farm in a second version of the world. As last time I didn't complete the stream due to it being short, and in that I moved my tree farm from down here up to here, or rather started it. And since I concluded the stream up there and I didn't end it on here, as I normally intend to do for my streams just so I can get a thumbnail for the streams, I have resetted my position in the world off camera, which is something I don't like doing. I don't like doing things off camera in the world, but it is what it is, and yeah, there is that. And should be doing the mob farm first, as that's easier, and so that the video I would like to talk about here doesn't slip my mind. And also because the tree farm itself is going to be very technical, so I'm going to need some focus on doing that. So without further ado, let us just begin. So people that are just tuning into my streams for the first time, I have been playing modded Minecraft for a very long time now, several years. And as such I have had a lot of experience from doing it, and oh, I've already have some. In turn, there is a lot of things I have kind of prepared for in this world before even kind of, you know, beginning this streaming world and what have you. And one such thing is the mob farm design that I will be using for today, which is something that has served me very well in my streaming world, and it just works extremely well, I would have said. Leave this up here, so I may want those. Just take those, as I will need those, and I would also need 6 of you. Let's go that, okay. Just do a couple quick bits of resource gathering and then we can get into the meat of things. And I really need to get a glider, don't I? Let's see here. There we are. Getting a glider for this world is also going to be something I need to do as well. Oh, one more thing is resetting that chap as well. Let's see here. Might as well just do it with crafting benches. Okay. Okay. And for other people that are tuning into this stream and are first timers to me, I am a modded Minecraft city building designer and live streamer, as I would describe myself, and I specialise in talking about ghost stories and things of that nature whenever I am streaming and building my worlds. So yeah, and today I shall be discussing another Nuke's Top 5 video, which is 5 scary ghost videos that will make you throw your phone. I've been watching Nuke's Top 5s for quite a long time now, and despite my infrequent kind of schedule with them and what have you, I would have said that Nuke's Top 5 is one of my favourite YouTube channels, I would have said, which is some which I will get into with more details a little later on, but just to kind of set this stream up and set myself up, yeah, Nuke's Top 5 is one of my favourite channels of all time, and this is the second time that I shall be discussing one of his videos in my streaming capacity. Let's see here, I'm almost ready. And then that. Okay, that's not quite enough, but let's see. Okay, and that's more than enough, so I kind of wasted resources there, but that's alright. So without further ado, let us just get into this. So the Nuke's Top 5 video that I will be discussing in the procedure of today's stream is 5 scary videos that will make you throw your phone, which I wanted to talk about in the previous stream, but I just couldn't get my words out. Let's see here, it's that. Just a couple more bits actually. So 5 scary ghost videos that will make you throw your phone by Nuke's Top 5 was a video uploaded quite a while ago now. It was uploaded on the 9th of February 2021 and is what I shall be discussing in the procedure of this stream section, or this highlight that I will be editing after this stream here in this video today. It's divided up into 5 different sections, and the first section is simply called Hiding in the Closet, which might have been a very fitting thing to discuss had I actually got my words together for a stream last month. So a person by the name of Seth is a house owner and has started experiencing paranormal occurrences. They created a YouTube channel in order to try and document these such events, and it has proven successful to them, and it has proven successful for them as demonstrated by Nuke's Top 5s, by Nuke's chronicling of her story here. Do this. So they created a YouTube channel in order to try and document what has been going on, and in their introductory video they report seeing a figure standing in a hallway. In a doorway mid-recording and hearing noises. The latter are captured audio-wise on camera, but the former isn't, because the video itself here is kind of structured or filmed structure-wise like one of those old YouTube vlog videos where the person just kind of talks to the camera. and what have you with their face on full display. Very interesting first clip overall, but it is very interesting first clip overall for this video, I would have said, but it is one of those ones where nothing is directly seen on camera apart from some weird noises, so how believable is it actually? You know what I mean? Like, this part could have easily have been faked, although a interesting kind of note and what have you is that both Steph and her roommate both see what they report seeing. The interesting thing about it though is that both Steph and their roommate both report seeing the exact same thing, which I find interesting. So if it is legitimate, that's quite an interesting kind of point of reference and what have you for within this particular clip. The second clip presented in the story of Steph within this video, in a second clip presented in the story of Steph within the video, the recorder documents how her dog did not come back, how her dog did not come visit her to greet them after coming back from an outing, and is sniffing a basement door, which is unsettling for Steph. All of this was kind of prefaced and what have you by Nuke stating that Steph feels that the basement is the most haunted part of their home. Yeah, there's not really any paranormal things that happen within this first dog clip. It's just the dog behaving quite strangely. And when they open the door, the dog just wanders in. When they open the door to the closet in question, the dog just kind of pokes its head in, keeps sniffing, and then still has an interest in the door. It's ultimately very bizarre and peculiar for Steph, because her dog behaving this way is very unnatural for it, and not a part of its normal behaviour or how it would normally behave, so to speak. It's very, very unusual overall from the perspective of Steph. Let's see here, that's okay, and that should be like that, perfect. Should do that. So all of this, as I've probably already detailed, was prefaced by Nuke stating that Steph feels that the basement in question is the most haunted part of their home, and they have reportedly, since this dog incident, or at least around the time during that dog incident, that they have had sightings of one or more apparitions. And after the dog incident, they end up setting up a camera in the basement, with the camera in question pointed at the with the camera pointed at the door that the dog was curious about in the previously shown clip. Do that. So in the third clip, a friend of Steph, Reese, is checking her phone when the door opens on its own, this obviously being set within the basement. And this comes after many hours of the camera recording absolutely nothing in terms of activity within the basement or anything to do with the door at all. And despite it being a very unclear, well, despite it not being the best picture quality of video ever, as I will kind of get back into, there is no visible or discernible string or anything like that attached to the door. Neither can you see anybody opening the door from within the closet itself. It really does seem like that the closet door did just open on its own. And then the concluding clip of the story is another one of Steph taking a video of another friend with them playing a Drum Hero type game. The closet door in question is open, and upon one pan of Steph's camera and upon the closet door is open, and upon one pan of the camera we see this apparition that is visible. That is visible kind of standing in the doorway menacingly, just kind of watching Steph and her unnamed friend in this particular clip. Upon paying attention and my kind of like critical angle, or kind of neutral kind of critical angle that I kind of watch and enjoy Nuke's videos from, I kind of paid quite attention to this clip and kind of picked up upon that there is no I can't see again any kind of digital editing or anything like that within this clip. Again, that could be in part due to the quality of the clip. As I mentioned, the quality of the video footage here isn't the best, so you aren't exactly getting the clearest picture either within this particular collection of clips and overall story of the haunting of Steph and her home. But it seems like that this clip wasn't edited, and how I discern that was that the footage here is all very smooth in that there is no kind of visible or discernible cuts within the footage. I would have said from looking at it with my kind of eye. A very interesting and creepy saga of home videos of ghost activity that I really enjoyed personally. Very unusual and creepy stuff overall, I would have said. And again, as I will kind of probably detail a little later on in the video and what have you, I am kind of looking at this through a very kind of surface level, I would have said. I'm looking at these purely as stories, not as actual evidence of the paranormal. I keep a very open and albeit skeptical mind about all of this and Nuke's videos in turn, as I feel that is the best way of kind of approaching them with how I kind of enjoy and watch them and why I watch them, as it were. Where was I? And obviously these could all be edited or staged or fake or whatever, yada yada. That is obviously a possibility, but what I would like to highlight in response to criticisms leveled at this video for being fake, if there would be any would-be criticisms, is that these clips were recorded a very long time ago, around 2010, late 2010, early 2010, I don't know, some point during that year. These particular clips by Seth or Steph were recorded. These clips by Steph were recorded. So yeah, she could have very well have recorded this footage and put a filter over it, but as I said, these clips were recorded around 2010 and uploaded during that kind of time period. They might have been uploaded in 2010 or 2011, but probably the year that they were recorded in. So they're very, so the clips that are being discussed here are a lot older in terms of how they were recorded and produced, so to speak, than the likes of a modern 2025 YouTube video, you know. The editing software was different back then, the quality of the videos was different back then, obviously. It's just these videos were produced in a very different time period, and I find it unlikely that these were fake or would have been faked with ease, shall we say. And one overall is a very interesting and creepy kind of saga and collection of videos by Steph and Nuke, presentation wise, I would have said. The apparition is obviously, you know, very creepy. That's one of those kind of, the apparition is obviously very interesting. That's one of those kind of big go-to things for these ghosts videos. I would have said one of the big kind of discussion points and what have you. But for me, however, what was most interesting about the overall story of Steph in Nuke's video here was the second clip, which was her dog. This is the part of the overall section which I personally find most interesting, I would have said, and probably the parts that, if any of the clips in this were real, it would have been this one, I would have said, because as Steph says in the video, or as documented in the presentation of the clip within Nuke's video, Steph's dog is very loyal, so to speak. It always kind of comes back to her and what have you after Steph has been away on trips or work duties or what have you. And it's like, given that context, it's really puzzling why the dog behaved in the way that it did in this particular clip. Not least for Steph, and she is obviously very puzzled and confused within the video. But like the why this particular clip stands out to me so much and what have you is the point of, why would Steph get her dog to do this, or why would anybody get their dog to do this? Why would you disrupt your pet's behavioural patterns and train it in order to do something like this for YouTube clicks and what have you? You know, like, why do that? You would completely ruin your relationship with your pet, as it were, if you were to train it to do such things. You know, it just doesn't make much sense to me as to why somebody would go out of their way to get their dog to do something like this, you know. And I don't even know where one would begin in terms of like training their dog to do such things like this. It's very unusual and highly interesting, I would have said, and what have you, this particular clip and particular point in the kind of story of Steph and this particular story, and within Nuke's video overall. Is my guy here finished, or might well be? But yeah, the dog overall was a really interesting and highly kind of unusual point within the video for the reasons that I have just stated, and is probably the one most unusual part of the video. I'd have said more unusual than the apparition, even, I would have said. So overall, a very interesting and kind of creepy clip overall, I would have said. And I think it was absolutely fantastic way to kind of start this video off, I would have said, and it's a very interesting kind of way to start this Nuke's video overall, I would have said. And one thing that I probably should have mentioned during my kind of main section on this video here was that there's been all sorts of things passed around in paranormal fields and what have you about shall we say higher perception than humans in animals, namely dogs, if that makes sense. Like, they can perceive a lot more things than humans can, which is a common thing that has been kind of passed around in probably scientific and veterinary circles, but not least mainly subject wise here for me, paranormal circles. That just adds a further interesting kind of facet and component to this highly unusual and creepy clip and overall story, I would have said. But yes, in the closet, as it is called, this first clip of Nuke's video, scary ghost videos that will make you throw your phone, or whatever it's called, is fantastic overall, and a really interesting kind of clip to open up the video with, I would have said. Let's do that. So from kind of one haunted house clip to another, we have the second clip as presented in Nuke's video here, which is simply called What Remains. A YouTuber by the name of El Cublo Oficial, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, is a paranormal skeptic who is invited to investigate a haunted house in Mexico by the owner. He is joined by another investigator and a medium on their expedition. The home was built upon an old guava plantation, and upon clearance human remains were found, including that of a young girl. The residents have had experiences with the supernatural and have said to have witnessed a little girl's apparition walking in the home. Things moving on their own, and it's apparently so haunted that nobody is wanting to buy the place. And upon entering during the investigation, the homeowner witnesses presumably this apparition of a little girl that they sometimes see within the home, but what is described within the clip as being a shadow, I believe. Then after the homeowner kind of notices this particular phantom and what have you, the medium starts picking up on a female presence in the home, and the whole collective of investigators then hear a little girl's voice saying hello and some walking, and the front door closes on its own. It's all a very kind of creepy and highly unusual maelstrom of quote-unquote supernatural activity. And with, I believe, the El Cubo, the lead investigator in this case, citing that the voice could very well have been the neighbours, which is a very real and logical possibility. But to me personally, the voice as present within the clip by Nukes itself is very close and nearby, I would have said, in that it sounds like it's coming from inside the home and not from some kind of external source. And I would have said at this point within this kind of clip by Nuke and what have you, it's a very interesting and kind of, as I said, interesting maelstrom of quote-unquote supernatural activity. And it's made even more interesting, I would have said, because the whole thing here is being live streamed, which I feel like adds a further kind of dimension and or air to the overall proceedings and what have you. Because with it being live streamed and what have you, it's because with it being live streamed and what have you, there is obviously a much higher degree in terms of difficulty with regards to the fact that this could have all have been staged. It would be a lot more difficult for the people present in this clip and what have you to stage what is going on within this particular chronicling in Nuke's video. And up until this point, it's kind of like it's creepy, it's good, but it's kind of yeah, whatever, there's a lot of here that's interesting, but then there's a lot here at the same time that could be faked. you know, it's interesting, but I'm not convinced yet, you know, kind of attitude I have to the clip at this particular juncture of it. But then that's kind of where things get interesting, because at one point the streamer El Cubro asks the other people present in the investigation to empty their pockets onto a mattress, thus eliminating the possibility of people playing sound effects from the likes of their phone and what have you. And it's after this, whilst they're in a room all together, whilst explaining to his audience that he, El Cubro, is a skeptic and that he finds it hard to believe in ghosts, he captures the face of a girl in a door window next to him. They only realise this when their chat points out, and they go back and presumably kind of look at it post the event happening, so to speak, and it is extremely unsettling and creepy, I would have said. And again, you know, it's something visual and not something auditory. So again, could it have been another extra person they had to stage all of this? Who knows? But what I do know is that it is a very creepy and interesting clip overall, I would have said. And with the kind of nature of the kind of face of the girl and the hair, as seen in the clip with her poking through the window and what have you, it reminds me a lot of the J-horror films Ringu or One Missed Call, both of which are absolutely fantastic supernatural horror films from Japan. And mainly because of the Mexican setting, it also reminds me overall, this clip, of two 1930s Mexican horror films, Phantom of the Monastery and La Llorona, which were two black and white supernatural horror films that came out from Mexico back in the 1930s. Now, I've only seen Phantom of the Monastery, but my brain kind of wandered a little bit whenever viewing the clip for this stream / highlight, and it just made me remember and or think about that particular clip and or that particular movie and what have you, Phantom of the Monastery. Maybe because the setting was somewhat familiar. Actually, no, the setting probably wasn't that familiar at all. It's probably mainly just because it's a ghost story set in Mexico and my brain kind of went towards that. And whereas there are definitely moments that could be faked within this video, overall, I would have still said that this is a very interesting and creepy clip overall. And as I said, it is a good ghost story, as it were, which is how I kind of view all of these at the end of the day. But yeah, absolutely fantastic and a very creepy and unsettling in areas clip overall, particularly the face, and that kind of appears in the door towards the end of this section within Nuke's video. Nuke's video then continues on with the third clip as present within it, and it is called Monster on the Wall. The section here is quite to the point and short, I would have said. It follows a mudder by the name of Caitlin, who has a TikTok and a YouTube page which is nothing to do with the paranormal and is about her journey as a parent to triplets. However, one particular glitch in her feed, so to speak, displays baby camera footage of the infants having just woken up from a nap, with all of them discussing, let's see here, the first of two clips present in Nuke's video displays baby camera footage of the infants having just woken up from a nap, with all of them discussing among themselves nervously and pointing at a spot in their bedroom, declaring that a monster is there. The second is where one wakes up in the middle of the night hysterical that there is a monster pointing at the same spot before, as seen in the first clip. What is actually going on here is the main question. Are the children just being young and sensitive, or is there really something there that we cannot see? This is what I would describe as being pretty much a filler clip by Nuke. One that isn't bad by any means, it's just simply one that doesn't give me a lot to discuss overall and isn't really a main event for the video. As I said, it is by no means a bad clip and what have you. It's just simply one that doesn't give me a lot to talk about and one that isn't really much of a main event for the video. Hopefully this fucking rain calms down. The Nuke's video then progresses onwards into what is the fourth clip of it, which is simply called At a Glance. This penultimate clip for the video I felt like was going to be something similar to the last, with it being another filler type of clip, but it ultimately ended up being another very frightening segment in the video that just left me thinking, what the fuck just happened? A channel by the name of Other Studios reached out to Nuke, basically saying that a friend of his, Cody, was experiencing paranormal events which are documented and formed by clips that they sent to his girlfriend to kind of document and display the odd things that have been happening in his home. It starts off with a fire alarm going off, some lights flickering, faucets running, and a door closing. How did I miss a singular block there? All kind of very basic and, creepy. All kind of basic, but kind of, not outstandingly scary stuff overall, I would have said. However, the overall story here takes a turn whenever Cody steps outside for a moment to catch his breath only to return recording to find his dining area in disarray, with a creepy face peering at him from a doorway, which is a very unusual and interesting kind of set of events to have happened. However, it takes a turn whenever Cody steps outside for a moment to catch his breath, only to return recording to find his dining area in disarray, with a creepy face peering at him from a doorway. It's a very odd and unsettling kind of face present in this video overall, and it kind of makes me think of like what somebody might create if they were to write and make a creepypasta about the Teletubbies and try to make a horrific and horrifying kind of Photoshop of them. The kind of face and what have you kind of reminds me, or kind of gives me, that kind of idea / impression, I would have said. And then whenever they were asked in regards to the suspect username, they stated that they were not in any ways a channel for videos like this, and had no intentions for making things like this in the first place. Again, is it real or is it fake? It's another creepy and again, is it real or is it all fake? Another creepy and pretty unnerving clip overall, I would have said. But it is one of those ones which it is kind of one of those ones where I do see it could quite easily have been fakes and what have you, but if it has been faked, who knows? It's just, it is one of those clips overall that does seem like it could have been faked to me quite easily, but as presented in Nuke's video and what have you, it's another creepy mystery and a pretty unnerving and unsettling clip overall. The video concludes with another kind of clip of the same caliber of what I have just mentioned, in terms of it being one that could have easily have been faked. This final clip and section present within Nuke's video and what have you here is simply called The Raid. It's one where Nuke is unable to determine a source, but what is shown overall here is pretty scary and creepy overall. It reportedly shows some kind of law enforcement raid where the clip in question was, it was reportedly some kind of law enforcement raid where it was shared to Reddit after being shared by a Brazilian police officer to Twitter. The first notable bit of footage is the trio of officers coming across a door which is banging aggressively with no clear reason as to how, and there is no visible methods as present or seen in this particular clip. There's no visible string or anybody hiding behind the doors or anything like that. There's no visible way of how the door is doing what it is doing, and kind of freaked out by this, they leave and something falls and crashes, and one of their cameras, as they're walking past, captures some weird phantom face quickly manifesting and disappearing. Because of the kind of backstory and the digital effects look 2D manifestation, I would personally be inclined to believe that this was all part of some kind of film project, and in any ways not a piece of evidence for the paranormal. It's a very interesting and creepy clip overall, and if I did find it in some kind of found footage film, I would be very satisfied, as it would make for a particularly creepy and unnerving scene for such a movie. And obviously this clip is another clip that doesn't have a lot to discuss, I would have said. Once again, it is a very interesting clip overall, however, still. And I would have said if I did find this in some kind of found footage film, I would be very satisfied, and I feel like it would make for a very creepy and interesting scene for some kind of such video. And overall, this is a fantastic video by Nukes, I would have said, especially the first two clips within it, I would have said. The one about the closet door, the haunted house, and then the other haunted house in Mexico with that particular apparition manifesting at the door window. And obviously a lot of this could easily be explainable and are fakes, or could very well be fakes. But the great clips here are that, and but the great clips that there are present within this particular video and what have you are, as I said, great clips overall. And but overall, despite the level of possible fakery that these clips could possess within Nuke's video here, I would have said overall that it acts as a great collection or anthology of ghost stories, which is how I kind of view Nuke's videos, at least on a very kind of surface level and what have you. And what I love about Nuke's Top 5, even though I do take long breaks from him sometimes, and what I love about Nuke's Top 5, even though I take long breaks from watching him because I get distracted and busy, is they never give a definitive statement as to if their content contains fake clips or not. This is because each video for me acts as an anthology for creepy stories that I enjoy thoroughly. Despite my infrequent schedule with watching them, Nuke's Top 5s is one of my favourite channels of all time, personally. So that was the kind of main end of this video and live stream, I would have said. That was the main thing I wanted to kind of discuss within this stream overall, but then not kind of with a video to kind of discuss and what have you. I kind of wanted to focus on finishing that tree farm. And I'm not going to be discussing anything here in regards to the paranormal or anything like that, because I kind of just want to concentrate on the tree farm, as it were. Kind of give my full attention to it. Let's patch all that up, because I am going to be wanting to here, I believe. Yeah. Let's quickly outline this. Do that. There we are. So if there is anybody watching this, this is probably going to be the point where the stream kind of gets a little boring and what have you, because there is not really nothing in terms of anything being discussed here. So is he going to come after me? But it's just going to be me kind of finishing up the tree farm and kind of getting on with that and trying to get that ready for my next streams and what have you, which there will be a bit more active discussion and what have you. Let's see. Is this guy going to come after me? He is. Okay. You stay down there, mate. So I'm going to need some string for the item filters and what have you, which will be interesting and what have you to get. I don't know if I have any. See here. It's just for now. Give this an initial run. Let's see. Because there will be... Oh, he's away. So I might as well get this going with what energy there is in the devices. Probably isn't any in the one up here at all. Nope, there isn't actually. There is a little bit, so maybe that will give us some trees. See. See, so first of all I need to get some more wood. Let's jump down, see is there any more in here. There is a little bit in here actually, so that might do us for now. See here. So what I want to make is another one of these, which is simple enough. That's a def, yep. Go. 111 defs now, woohoo. Go back up here. And then if we do... Actually, I already have some chests in here, but those planks will come in useful. Let's see here. Do that, 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 and that. And I am going to need more smooth stone as well, aren't I? Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, hello, Dalek. Shit. Okay. Forgot about you. You stay over there, please, or you want to fight? You just leave me alone, please. Go away. Thank you. Oh, I've got Monster Hunter achievement. Nice. But I'm going to want more smooth stone and what have you for the pipes and what have you that I need for this. Let's see. It's that. And then I'm also going to need you. No, that's for another build. You. One that will be coming soon on a short. That. And go up here. So what I'm going to do now is get a energy source that is constant for the tree farm. See, move down here. Move that. This is just a temporary energy source, I would have said, just to get the farm going and what have you. See, then there's that. Excellent. Already made a little hole for it. So that's going to have to run round here, and then just to make room for other possible advancements and what have you with this build, I'm going to put the magma crucible at the end here, or just crucible as it's called. It's a bit of a waste, but oh well. Then put the one fluid transfer node that I have onto that, and then the ender chest for cobblestone that I had in that, and then that will start making lava, in turn renewable and infinite energy for these. So obviously this is going to power on first, and it's going to be the whole machine's basically going to have the planter down here as a priority for energy, with the one up here being a secondary kind of source and what have you, which is absolutely fine. Let's do down here. Let's do that, because I am going to want storage for this. So if we then do, what am I going to need for this? I've got 2 transfer nodes in there, which is fine. I just need some string now, so I can do an item filter for the particular tree type that I want, at least in this phase. But I also want more different saplings to start growing and be harvested as well. See, that's okay, and let's get a bunch of oak in there going. So it's obviously going to be quite a slow farm for the moment, but as I get more and more kind of fuel and what have you, I will be able to improve. Cheap views on Streamboo, remove the space. You were in my stream last time. Hello again. Yeah, hello again. Let's see. So do this, that, and that. First time. No, you're a first time chat, so you're a new boy or girl, they, them, or fox, or whatever you want to identify as. So this will very slowly start. Actually, I suppose I can have a Stirling generator here with some energy in it, kind of harvesting and what have you, although that might kind of bottleneck the sludge in here eventually, but that will really get the kind of trees going and what have you. And I kind of have it set up in this way where this whole kind of pad here takes up a full chunk square of blocks, and so overall a chunk square like this has 256 by 256 blocks, and with just in a square being 10 by 10 of dirt where the trees go, I have 100 saplings planted here at once, and in turn what this means is that there's a higher chance, this basically increases the chances for tree growth in the world and what have you. Or basically increases the chances for a tree to grow here, which is handy and not as fast as it could be, because I could use a quantum flux time accelerator block which will rapidly enhance the growth of the trees and what have you. But with this setup and what have you, with so many trees being planted and what have you, that kind of eliminates the need for having one of those kind of blocks and what have you. It's obviously not as fast, but with so many trees growing so quickly, it's like you don't really need one, is the kind of layout of my design here. And I just made those by accident, that's alright. Could use those as fuel. See, doubt there's anything in my chest yet, and I am on hard, that's fine. See, all of those Daleks spawning in the water is going to be a big kind of issue for me on my mob farm, but I'll get there eventually with patching that up and what have you. And that is the basic kind of mob farm itself finished and what have you. Have 2 conveyor belts in there. Not sure what mob dropped those, but that's unusual. But for now, the last kind of bit I need is a string. There it is. And this will kind of complete the mob farm overall, or not the mob farm, this bit overall, I would have said for now. Because what I can do is, when I put this down, what I can do is do is it 1 string I need? Yes it is, because what I can do with this is pluck that out and then wire it up so that that's okay. So that only output oak saplings now, which is excellent and what I want to do. Then this and what have you can go here. So that will act as a storage for the oak saplings. And then obviously I could reconfigure this in the future if I wanted to add more saplings and what have you. But for now I'm just going to settle with manually inputting saplings into the device and what have you. That's that. So is there any more that I can add to this? See, it's pretty much it for now, I would have said. It's just a matter of letting everything building up and what have you. What I can look at actually is starting the kind of furnace arrays up here that I'm going to need for fuel and what have you. So it'll be a very quick and self-fulfilling fuel factory, because I want to use Stirling generators and kind of biofuel for this overall, which will take a long time of build up and what have you, but it will be good to get that going as well. And a stream is running shorter at the moment, but has gone well. I've got the nuke stuff recorded for stream highlights and what have you, which was the kind of main goal for this, I would have said. And I put the crafting table. So let's get that array and what have you started. Let's see. That's okay. So this, where did I leave the ender chest? Oh, it's over there, of course. Duh. Bit of cobble out of you. Another thing is going to be me trying to find the caves and what have you to light up for my mob farm to work, and then lighting up and kind of creating a perimeter and what have you as well is going to be one of those things. So let's do that. So it's a 16 by 16 area, maybe 10 for now, keep it in line with the dirt would be ideal to do. Let's see here. That's doing pretty well so far. How's everything up here? That's doing okay. That needs more fuel, that's fine. That's another death, fair enough. More smooth stone. That's that. It's okay. That's in the def, yep. So then, where was I going? Up here. We go. So then this is going to continue harvesting the trees and what have you. So then where do I want the charcoal to come in? So I'm probably going to want a system to carry I'm going to want a system to carry the trees and what have you downwards, which is probably going to be on the roof of this hole here, as I'm going to have a few kind of underground farms and what have you to this base. See here. But the thing is, once this is kind of filled up and what have you, it's going to become a lot quicker overall with the kind of trees and what have you. See, so think for now, yeah, because I can easily redirect the, see if I was to do the chest kind of at the end, see, start building this up at the edge here, like so, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, okay. Let's have the chest down at the end here. I can easily snake this in and that connects to it like that. And then going to here, no, I have some in here, don't I? Do this. that. Just doing a big sweep up there, that's good to hear. Then obviously I can make this self-sustaining as well by having an item filter put charcoal into the side of it from the chest here, which is the plan as well. Do that, and then can do, probably the best idea for this would be to drain the kind of river and what have you, and light everything up, which I'll probably will do eventually. In fact, I'll probably drain all of this, or would I drain all of it? Now, the Daleks probably have spawned on the ground below because that is floating water, and they've kind of swam up to the top or something like that, I would have said. Then let's do, it's okay. Let's hopefully have a couple more bits of string somewhere. Let's see. Does not appear that I do at the moment. That's okay. So maybe for the last bits of this, as that is kind of going nicely up there for now, just doing a quick bit of digging and kind of preparing for the next stages of this world. Whereas I'm not 100% on track and what have you with the short that was uploaded and taken within stream 5, the kind of progress update of this world from the first 4 streams, just to kind of recap. Whereas I'm not 100% on track for branching out and what have you, I am getting quite close and what have you with myself able to kind of branch out and what have you, kind of why am I, that's all a bit glitched, that's weird. I'm able to kind of branch out there soon and do kind of a bit of building work and what have you, hopefully soon, with what I have planned for that section within my world, as I have pre-explored this seed off camera in order to kind of have an idea of where I'm going to build everything, at least in this stage of the world. And whereas I'm not 100% on track for a kind of branching out at stream 10, I am pretty on track for a branch out at some point soon within this world. But I do need more resources for it and what have you. I would have said I need a lot more wood and what have you for all of the houses that I will be building and what have you in this new kind of part of the world that I will be going towards. But I'm getting close to it overall, which is fantastic. So there is that. What Y level do I need to go down to? I need to go down to Y62. Okay, no worries. See here. Okay. And all of this sand as well, kind of, all of this kind of mountain, at least in like a very thin slot here, needs to be kind of cleared and what have you for my plans of within this world anyway. So where am I orientated? There we go. It's right, isn't it? So I'm down to 62, and let's just dig. So I have viewed a few more kind of paranormal videos and what have you recently, and a few other bits and pieces and what have you, but nothing that I really have kind of definitive and kind of set up for discussion within this stream. Earlier, where is it behind me? Yeah, just go and get the guy's name. Kind of, there goes that book. Fantastic. Kind of immersing myself in the world of paranormal and ghosts and kind of getting myself set up for this stream and what have you. I did start reading a book that I got recently called Ghosts by Paul Rowland. Read the first chapter of it before this kind of stream and before viewing the nukes clip for this video, or the video that will be made out of that section and this stream, and it was a really interesting kind of read and what have you, and I look forward to kind of reading more of it and what have you soon, which will probably be kind of maybe in preparation for more live streams and what have you, me just kind of setting myself up with a bit of the paranormal and what have you for within a stream, and then also kind of doing the same thing. Earlier today I viewed a clip of, I think it's somewhere in Scotland, a story about or a video about the stories of somewhere called Scare House, which is a supposedly haunted location somewhere in Scotland that a friend showed me a while ago, and I ended up rewatching that clip earlier today to kind of prepare myself and kind of get my head in the zone for ghost story stuff and what have you for this stream. And then I also rewatched a review of the horror film from last year called *5s with Matt Smith and Winifred something, I think her name is, which is a fantastic kind of folk horror film overall, and a really interesting and unsettling and unusual watch, as a lot of good folk horror is. Let's see, it's that. And I suppose the only other big thing that I have watched recently that could be brought up in a stream, well, isn't really something that would be brought up in a stream since this kind of focuses on ghosts and what have you, is a movie I watched recently called Frankenstein 1970. I'm a very big fan of Frankenstein movies overall and what have you. I absolutely love the series of films by Hammer, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic series of films overall. And this one does a few kind of things different with the formula of the Frankenstein story. But it overall was just an okay movie. Basic kind of plot and what have you is that Boris Karloff plays the last surviving family member of the Frankensteins, who are now known for their kind of history and what have you of reviving the dead and what have you. And Karloff is living in the castle and is hosting a camera crew that is making a documentary about him, Karloff's character, and the history of the Frankensteins and the making of all of the monsters that they did and what have you. It's a very interesting, and Karloff ends up using the camera crew and what have you as kind of pieces of meat, as it were, for his newest creation and what have you, because we can't have a Frankenstein movie without a monster being made, pretty sure. But it's a very interesting overall kind of premise for a Frankenstein movie, I felt, and what have you. Definitely not the best, I would have said, but it was an interesting kind of watch and what have you for die-hard Frankenstein film buffs and people that have thoroughly enjoyed Frankenstein movies. I would have said not the best, but it is a good kind of curio kind of film, I would have said, overall, for people that are fans of the story of Frankenstein and Frankenstein films in general. Definitely one not for first timers to the story of Frankenstein on film and what have you. There are much better ones to watch, like the original Frankenstein from the 30s. Well, not the original one, as that would have been the one made by Thomas Edison in 1908. But yeah, the Frankenstein, the True Story, and the Hammer films, as an example, would be examples of Frankenstein movies that would be kind of better than this one that I've mentioned here, but it is a good kind of curio film for Frankenstein buffs overall, I would have said, and is worth checking out if you're a fan of those kind of films like that, I would have said. So that concludes the 9th stream of me and my work within my Modded Minecraft series and streaming City World. Today I ended up finishing the tree farm, at least to a workable state and what have you, with kind of layouts for new implementations of it and what have you. And I also ended up building my mob farm as well, which hasn't got going yet, as I need to light up caves and what have you below, which is another task for another day. And then I have also started outlining where a train station is going to go, for tracks from this base to a kind of my next kind of project after finishing up on the base for a while, which will probably be around stream, not quite sure, probably no more than stream 15, I would have said, is when I will be kind of getting into that kind of stuff and what have you. But yeah, overall happy again with the progress that I've managed to make in this stream, and I am happy that I managed to record a stream highlights video, I would have said, which is the Nuke's Top 5 video, which will be edited down into its own kind of highlights video for an upload on this channel. Like, for subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and see you next time.